Hey, happy sunshine, light, and longest light days of the year. When you read this lesson, it is about, the solstice, obviously, the summer solstice, because we're following the northern hemisphere, and the longest day of the year, like with light, and the shortest night. And there's an activity for a ritual for that, and I encourage you to read it or celebrate however you feel necessary any day, where we are in this wonderful, happy, joyful stage of growth, progression, and nurturing. So what I kind of want to talk about with this is, when you read it, I relate a lot of what goes on in the garden at this point with what goes on with ourselves. And what it is, we've done the hard work, we have dug deep, we've gotten dirty, we've sweat, we have cried, we've fertilized, we have all these things, our gardens and ourselves, and now it's time to sit back and nurture, right? So we nurture, and we just hope that the seeds that we planted grow into fruit, flower, or something for nourishment later, for our minds, for our bodies. And it's this kind of feeling that we have that it's, we've worked so hard, we've been working and all of these things constantly, and now it's time to sit back and practice patience. And it's interesting how this time of year correlates with the nourishing and practicing of patience, because it's such a high energy, high vibration, light time of year. So it's like you want to do all these things, but really what you need to do is just nurture and be patient and trust, right? So we, as with our garden, we just need to listen to our plants and see, when they need water. Don't overwater. Don't over any, we want to be there. We want to be attentive. We want to be these right up there. But what we need is, we need to sit back and trust that we will know when they need watered, when they need fertilized, when they need shade if there's too much light, or put out in the sun if they're in the shade, or whatever. And the same thing with us, we need to sit out in the sun, right? The sun is this energy, it's this life force, and we are just ready to soak it in and vibrate with it, and then take it and trust when it gives us a message, or that pregnant point of knowing, or that being, that message that, we are growing into what we're supposed to grow into our full potential. And so it's about patience, and it's about faith, and it's about nurturing. And this is a good time too to go back to the other activities with the massaging, and really taking care of ourselves, and appreciating ourselves, and thanking ourselves for the hard work that we did and put into this. And of course, thanking everything, you know, the dirt, the earth, the soil, like the sun, the plants, for their hard work and their growth, and then their being hopeful for their fruits and nourishment, and knowing that that is what's growing in us too. Come September, come that full circle, come harvest, we're also gonna harvest our true like self, our potential, and know that we're on the right path as we start the cycle over again. So we need to have that trust. And this is maybe one of the most easy yet difficult times of the year, you know, where we just sit back and we just let it soak in. And we have to be open to it too. We have to be open to hearing what is needed by our plants, by our bodies, by our minds, our souls, everything. And that's one of the things that is important in the Lea, please, and is important in the activity. Like I said, there's the solstice activity, ritual, and then there's that inner child one. And what's different in this inner child work is we have sat here physically in our bodies and we have felt that light, that long day, the light growing and everything. And we are going to take that inside and we are going to visualize ourselves giving it to our inner child. You know, giving our inner child permission to be that light that it wants to be, that it was meant to be, and watch it and hold it and see how it, you know, really blossoms, blooms, and what it wants to do with it. That's key, right? What it wants to do with it. So, you know, when you're there in that inner child work, notice what your inner child is doing with that light, that permission, that freedom, that happiness, that joy. What is bringing it that joy? What is it? What activity is it? I don't want to give you, you know, ideas. I want you to really be there with it and notice where you are, and notice what makes it smile as you're just showing it this light and this freedom and this feeling of you know, ability without judgment. That's who you are. You know, that's who you want to be. And that's